welcome to another episode of Impctrs Out Loud with your host, me, Tracy D. Allen. And today we have Tomeka Jones with us, and she is going to be talking to us about transitioning in your life. So I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory about Tomeka, and then she's going to take it from there. We're just going to have a really good conversation about how she creates impact within her community. So Tomeka Jones, originally from Tampa, Florida, and raised in South Carolina, brings a profound life journey to her work as a life coach. With 23 years of service, the United States Air Force, and as a devoted single mom, her mission is centered around serving others. Her diverse background includes volunteering for nonprofits and pursuing a nursing career, inspired her to establish flawless transitional life coaching. Her practice is rooted in overcoming self-doubt and societal pressures, embracing self-love, confidence, and resilience. Tomeka's coaching philosophy emphasizes that true transition begins within and focuses on personal support and empowering women to achieve abundance and empowerment. Through her unique approach, Tomeka is dedicated to helping others uncover and unleash their inner power. Tomeka, welcome to Impctrs Out Loud. I know we're going to have a great conversation. So my first question is always, what is your cocktail? What is it that propelled you into this line of work? I know we talked a little bit about it in your bio, but I want to get a deeper answer as to what have you overcome that has gotten you to the place that you are, that you want to help other women to get there.
So first and foremost, I would like to say thank you for having me on your show, your podcast. Thank you. My cocktail started when I retired from the Air Force. Back in 2022, I retired. Like you said, I served 23 years in the Air Force, retired in 2022. And immediately after I retired, I just felt like I had no purpose. I already, before the military, had struggled with my identity as far as who am I. But then after the military, because that's all, 23 years in the military, that's all you breathe, sleep, eat is the military, right? So just trying to figure out, who is Tomeka? What is she? What does she like? Who is Tomeka? So I went on this self-loving whole journey of just trying to find who Tomeka really is. Because a lot of times we get lost in society because they give us labels. Oh, you're a nurse. Oh, you're an officer. Oh, you a single mom. You all these things. And I had to take a step back and say, no. When someone asks me who is Tomeka, I boldly say, I am love. Tomeka is ambitious. I'm bold. I'm strong. I'm beautiful. I'm decisive. I'm confident. I'm all of these things. Did I say I'm beautiful? Yes. So that's kind of how I start, by just really cultivating and digging deep, because like I said, the titles and all of that, beyond all of that, who are you? Peeling back the layers, right? And sometimes we don't do that. We just go along with what society tells us or who we think we are, and never do the work to really find out, who we are. And before then, I was a broken young woman, just trying to find her way through life. I struggled all my life with, one of the things I struggled with was my birthmark, right? Which is a darker pigmentation on my chest, my arm, my back. So I've never worn a swimsuit or a tank top in public because I was so insecure about my birthmark. And then I thought back, I'm like, what if my mom would have said, to me in the 4th grade, hey, take that jacket off. It's 180 degrees. Take that jacket off. What else she would have embraced, my flaws, which are flawless, my flaws, and we'll get to that. But what if she would have did those things, But I'm an adult now, and it's up to me to do the healing. So I went on this self-love healing journey, just to find who Tomeka was, in and out of broken relationships. Because once again, not only did I not love myself, but I didn't know what love looked like, right? Because a lot of times we as women or as little girls, the first person we fall in love with is our father, right? If we have a father figure in the house. And if we don't know what that looked like, smell like, feels like, we spend a lifetime trying to figure what that is, because we don't know what to compare it to. So I spent a lifetime trying to figure out what true love is, how it feels, how it sounds, how it tastes, you know. Um, so like I said, I went on this whole self-love journey. And after I retired, I went through this internship, and it's called Grace After Fire. And it's a nonprofit organization for transitioning women out of the military. And I met with the CEO of Grace After Fire, and we were just having lunch and general conversation. And she brought that question about, who are you? And at that time, tears began to roll down my face because I'm like, I don't know. And that actually sparked the journey, her asking those questions. So after then, a couple weeks later, I was in my closet trying to put something on, find clothes to put on. And everybody who knows me knows that I love t-shirts. So the word flawless hit me while in my closet. I'm like, okay, flawless, all right, fine. So the next day, 3 more words hit me: resilience, confidence, and self-love. And I said, oh, this is super dope. I can tell my story through my apparel. I love t-shirts, and I'm like, I can tell my story through, and I never have to speak again. Because once again, another fear of mine was public speaking, which it still is, but no, it's not. It's not a fear. No, it's not. No, it's not. So I'm like, okay. So I started out with apparel, women empowerment t-shirts is what I started doing. And maybe 3 or 4 months later, God sent me right back around and said, Tomeka, this is not where I called you. This is it's part of it, but no, I'm about to elevate you. So I need you to, come on board. So I said, okay, God, all right. And coaching came about through that transformation, empowering women through my stories that I've gone through, from alopecia, from being called the leprosy child while growing up, in and out of relationships, just trying to find the whole love piece, and not loving who I am, right? And not embracing who I am. And so I began to work on the mindset. And, the mindset is key when changing anything. So that's my cause tell.
Okay, awesome. You said a lot that we can now piggyback on, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was making mental notes of things that I wanted to talk about. So one of the things you talked about was being in the military for 23 years, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of female friends actually, who made the military their career. And they always talk about how the transition from military life is so shocking when they come out into the civilian world, especially because most of you are coming out in your 40s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you
Yep.
went for 20 something years, you're still a young person.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, so now what do I do? There's no one to tell you when to get up, when to go to sleep, what to eat, there's no like
Structure.
regiment that
Mm-hmm.
you have to follow in civilian life, and that sometimes people get lost. So I'm happy to hear that there is a nonprofit organization that helps you
Yes.
guys to transition from military life to civilian life. But
Yes.
imagine, I would think, because the ones I know didn't talk about that nonprofit. So imagine a lot of people not even knowing about
Mm,
it. And I think that is why a lot of people tend to leave the military. The people who made the military their career. So they were in there for 20 years to 30 years, right? And then they come out and they're so lost that they end up doing things that they shouldn't be doing
right.
because they don't have, like I said, that regiment anymore to guide
Mm-hmm.
them down the path that they should be going.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
see a lot of homeless veterans, right? A lot of
Right.
tons of
Right.
homeless veterans that
Yeah.
just couldn't get out back in society to function or don't know, like you said, the resources that are
Yeah.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good that you had that to help you to kind of transition smoothly from
Yes.
from military life, because 23 years is a long time to be in the
Yes.
military. It's a long time to live under a certain structure and then be catapulted into the free world going, okay, so this is what you guys do out here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
you
Right.
know um, and then of course a lot of people come out of the military and they want to have a second career because you're
Yeah.
so young. You don't
Yeah.
want to sit at home and just twiddle your thumbs all day. You want to do something else. So I was happy to hear that being at that nonprofit organization helped you to kind of find your purpose, that and
Yes.
your faith in God, of course, helped you to find your purpose in helping other women to
Mhm.
overcome themselves, overcome things that have plagued them since
Yes.
childhood. And that's one of the things you talked about, having a birthmark on your shoulder going on into your back and not getting that reinforcement from your mom to say, hey, this is just a part of you
Mhm.
and this is who you are. Just embrace
Mhm.
it, love it,
Right.
ignore other people. I mean, but
Yeah.
you have to be tough to ignore people, right? Especially kids.
Yeah.
The kids in your group
And then
can be
it's
very,
mom
very
too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So mom is gonna do everything to protect her child. Same with
protect
the public
you, right?
speaking. I had to
Right.
peel
And
back the
that's what she
layers
thought
and
she was doing, protecting you. But actually, you needed that type of protection, but you also needed to be forced out of your comfort zone
right.
so that you can learn to love your body unapologetically. Right.
Yes.
Um,
Same with the
so I
public speaking. Same with the public speaking. I
public
peel back the
speaking.
layers and ask myself, why am I? What is this fear about? And it
Hmm.
was my mom growing up in the South, right?
Right.
Doing racism and segregation.
Hmm.
She always told me, hey, go in the classroom, don't cause no smoke, go in the back of the classroom, sit down, don't be
Hmm.
seen, don't be heard. And that's
Right.
kind of how I lived my life, right?
Hmm.
Until, like I said, once I became aware with self and started saying, okay, why are you always shine, going to the back, shine away, and that was it, right?
How
So,
did you overcome your fear of public speaking?
so just doing it. The more
Just
I
doing
do it, the more I get comfortable with it,
it.
right?
Hmm.
And it's so funny because I thought I had some type of dyslexia or something. So I went and my friend was like, girl, bye. You don't have no dyslexia, but go ahead and get the study done. I'm like, well, I'm going to do it. At least if I have a diagnosis, I know,
Right.
I can hold on to that. But
Hmm.
no, it's just, something that I have to
Remove the
keep
fear.
doing and telling myself that I can do it and being more confident in doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I understand the fear of public speaking. I had a real aversion to public speaking too, and a lot of people thought it was weird because I was an educator. So of course I'm speaking in front of the public every day, right? But they're kids, so I wasn't afraid of talking to some kids. I
Right.
was talking to people who are your own age and older than you that brought me fear. And once I got out into the entrepreneurship world, um, public speaking is kind of part of it, right?
Yes.
Especially if you want to grow your business.
Yes.
And I had to figure out some strategies to overcome that pit that I mean, it's in your stomach, right? You feel like everything in there is just churning. You
Yeah.
feel sick. You're like all types of emotions are happening to you when you
Mm-hmm.
have to public speak. And I just decided one day, you know something? If I could get up in front of those middle schoolers, and they're harsher than adults, okay,
Yes.
and teach for hours and hours every day, I can public speak. I just look at my audience as middle schoolers. That is legitimately what I do. And that helped me to get over my fear of public speaking. When I go in, I'm just like, okay, this is a classroom and I'm just teaching these people, right? And
Right.
I get up
Right.
and I'm able to others to do it as well. So when you talked about your birthmark, you talked about never being able to wear a bathing suit because of your fear of being ridiculed by others because you have
Mm-hmm.
a mark on your skin. Have
Mm-hmm.
you been able to get past that?
Yes, here recently. I went out, I put on a tank top and I just went outside and just did it, right? Because
Uh-huh.
I'm to the point now where I'm like, this is who I am, right? And that's my brand is flawless. And when I think of the word flawless, or when society actually think of the word flawless, they always think of something aesthetically beautiful, the Beyoncé's, the J-Lo's, the Celine Dion's, all that, right? Something aesthetically beautiful, but it's not about that. It's being the best version of yourself, walking in your purpose and your truth, right? That's my definition of flawless. So that's how my flawless came about, and embracing your flaws, whatever that might be, embracing them and loving who God has made you.
So
So
how did it
that's
feel that first time when you went outside with
liberating,
liver?
liberating. Like, this is me. This is me.
Uh-huh.
And it's so funny because even the smallest things that my daughter may see, in me, and it's like, okay, another flaw. But now I'm like, oh yeah, girl, just the edges, yes, alopecia, it's okay. Let's keep your edges done and let's do all the things with you. But just the simple things, right? And it's like, this is me. This
Mhm.
is me, right? I can't
You
be
can't change
nobody
it.
else. This is me.
Right, because you can't change it.
Oh.
And I like that because I have some surgical scars that have kept me hostage for years now. And I see clothes that I want to wear, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wear that. I got this big, ugly scar on my
Mhm.
stomach, right? Or several of them, because I've had several
Mhm.
emergency abdominal surgeries.
Yes,
And my daughter's like, so what? You know? And I'm like, I can't let anybody see that. That's a big, ugly scar. And she's like, Mom, get over it.
that
It's not
makes you
going
unique.
anywhere. Just
Yes,
embrace it and move on. So what if they have things to say? Like they got problems with themselves too. Like just go. So I love you saying that it was liberating and that you were
yes,
able to overcome that because a lot of times we look at a lot of our flaws and I like to say
mhm.
perfectly flawless or
Yes,
perfectly flawed, right?
yes, yes,
Um, we look at our flaws and we allow our flaws to hold us hostage. And that's to me is one of the reasons
yes,
why plastic surgery is such a huge thing right now
yes.
because everybody is trying to change something about themselves that they can't
Mhm,
love about
mhm,
themselves.
mhm.
Okay. So tell me about some of the more intricate work that you do with women. What type of women do you work with? And what are some of the major issues that you see them come to you with that you help them to overcome?
So basically, flawless life coaching is crucial because it deals with societal issues like self-doubt, self-limiting beliefs, lack of confidence.
Mhm.
So I deal with all of those type of women because I am my brand. I've been through that. I've gone through it. I know what it feels like. So for me, empowering women to help them gain their confidence, elevate their mindset, embrace who they are, um, walk with their head high and all the things and know that there's an abundant life that they desire and deserve, but they have to take the first step into going in that direction, right? Takes work,
Are there specific underlying things that you see that women come to you with regularly? Like, um, maybe dealing with their hair size, that type of stuff. Something to that effect.
a lot of it stems from childhood, whether you know it. I think a lot of
Okay.
our trauma stems from childhood, but
Mhm.
um, setting healthy boundaries, I think that's the biggest thing that I've been seeing. Women just not setting boundaries and telling people no. They look at no as something bad versus no being something good.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to say no to certain things. And many times as women, we stretch ourselves so thin, right? And give. And at the end of the day, we're tapped out. So,
Most definitely. I know I'm tapped out on a regular basis.
yes.
So when it comes to setting healthy boundaries, how do you go about helping these women to because I know that's hard for a lot of people. I used to tell people that no was my middle name. I don't have any problems telling you no. Like I'll tell you no quicker than I say yes. Like sometimes I'm saying no before I even hear all of what you have to say. Like
Yes.
that's how good I am with saying no. So I've learned to stop, listen first, and
Yes.
then respond. Right?
Yeah.
I learned how to say no because people were always asking me to do things. So
Right.
no would just be like my go-to no, and then I would listen and then I would answer you after. So I know that a lot of women, because I have a lot of friends who before, like just like I would say no quickly, they would say yes quickly. They haven't even heard what I had to ask. And they're
Yes.
already saying yes. I'm like, girl, I could be asking you to commit a crime. How are you telling me
Right.
yes already? So how do you get them to set those healthy boundaries and adhere to it? Because setting them is one thing, but
Mhm.
adhering to those boundaries is a completely different thing.
I tell them to go within, and when anyone comes to them with whatever request or whatever, go with
Mhm.
their first instinct, right? Don't change it. Don't try to make anything up. Don't try to think it. Just go with that first instinct, right? If it doesn't feel good, because you know when it feels good and when it doesn't.
Mhm.
So if it doesn't feel good, you go with that. If it feels good, then you go with that, and you sit in it for a minute, and whatever choice you make, good, bad, and indifference is the choice that you made, right? And at the end of the day, you have to come back and self-reflect and try it again each time until you're able to set those healthy boundaries.
Yeah, that coming back and self-reflecting, that self-reflection piece is huge, right? Um, and I think some people can take self-reflection a little bit too far. They self-reflect with self-ridicule. Um,
Mm.
and you can't do that because then you'll drive yourself crazy.
No. I know too, when I'm going through contrasts or certain issues in life or just whatever it is, I take a step back and I be still, completely still. And I ask myself two questions.
Mhm.
One, I ask, why am I going through this? And then the second question is, what lesson am I supposed to learn in this, through this, right?
Mhm.
And eventually I'll get my answer, but I have to sit still and ask myself those two questions, and you'll get the answers every time. Yeah,
Okay.
you'll get the answers every time.
So how do you do most of your coaching? Is it in person or do you do online as well?
So right now I'm doing one-on-one online coaching, and I also have workshops. I have an upcoming workshop as well
Mhm.
online, but mostly online. But in the community, I'm getting more involved in the community. So I go out and I do community group coaching as well.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So here recently, well, a while back, I did coaching, but it was more so for the kiddos. And it was just learning business and business
Mhm.
plans. And so I spoke a little bit about my business
Mhm.
with that. So it wasn't mindset or anything like that. It was more so for the kiddos, junior high
Mhm.
school kids, did that type of
Oh,
coaching.
okay.
Um, my goal is to get partner with a nonprofit organization, in particular, women's shelter, and do a couple workshops. So that's in the mix right now. So,
Oh, okay. Awesome. That would be great. Nonprofits always need
mhm,
add-on services that they can't provide themselves. And if people are willing to volunteer and come in and
mhm.
help to provide some of those services to the population, that's excellent. Okay, so if you had to leave our community with three things that they should think about to help to transition their lives, I'm looking for the name, flawlessly transition their lives, right? What are those three things that you would tell
So 3 tips
them?
that I would tell aspiring impact or innovator leaders: embrace or embrace and grow, meaning be willing to cultivate a different mindset, be open to certain things, right? And
Mhm.
I think staying open help us to adapt to certain things or evolve into certain areas in life, and also help us with different challenges. So basically embracing and a growth mindset, a growing mindset. So be open to certain
Okay.
things. The second one, being you, true, authentic you, and loving yourself, right? Because you develop that know, like, trust with your clients or your customers by being authentic and being you yourself. And then the last one, I would say, I would say self care. That's big.
Mhm.
Self care. Sometimes we as entrepreneurs, we be on 1,000 every day, and I think sometimes we get burnt out quick
All right.
because we don't find time to embrace self care. And the self care isn't buying a Gucci bag, isn't, well, some for somebody maybe it is, but for me it's just being self aware of where you at and what you're doing, and slowing down to just your Zen moment, pretty much.
Okay.
It's my definition of self
Yeah,
care.
those are three good tips, especially the self-care one, right?
Yes,
Because our health is all we have. And if we're not taking
yes,
care of ourselves holistically, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, we're not doing
yes. I
it.
agree. And I'm an
Yeah.
affirmation queen. So, but my go to affirmation is everything is working out for my greater good, no matter how it looks. Everything is working out for your greater good, no matter how it looks. And I
Mhm.
say that over and over and over and over throughout the day until I believe it, until I feel it, until it starts to manifest itself. So
Okay.
that's my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manifestation quotes are extremely helpful for helping you to get to set a mind frame for the
Yes.
day. So yeah, I do that every day too. I get in the mirror and do some self talk. I
Yes.
know back in the day, my mother would be like, "Only crazy people talk to themselves," but no, I'm not insane. And you know, listen, no, no not trying to say that people who have mental health issues are, insane, but you understand what I'm saying. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that, when you were talking to yourself, if you're just sitting there talking to yourself, people would say, oh, blah, blah, blah. But no, sometimes you have to talk to yourself
You
to
do.
regulate yourself and to
You
put yourself
do.
in the mind frame that you need to be in order
Yes.
to navigate this day, this week,
Yes.
this life, right?
Yes. Right.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what makes you an impactor?
What makes I am an impactor because flawless life coaching, first and foremost, I am my brand. I am the woman who I coach every day. And my mission and goal is to help women, empower women to embrace their flaws, embrace who they are, self love, self awareness,
Mhm.
um, exude confidence, and be resilient. So when I think about resilience, I think of a rubber band. I think of us like we were stretch, 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 stretch to the max, and then just like a rubber band, we come back again. So I help women to find that resilience and also elevate her mindset, right? To live the abundant life that she so desire and deserve. Yes.
Okay, awesome. And tell us if you have a product that you want to promote and how people can find you.
So all things flawless life coaching. My website is www.flawlesslifecoaching.com. My social media handles are all flawless life coaching. I do have a book and also my apparel. I do have an apparel line that's Flawless Fashion Co.
Hmm.
But everything is on my website as well.
The book. What is the name of the book?
Riding the waves to self confidence, and that's on my
Riding the
website as
Wave.
well. Riding the waves to self confidence.
Okay. And
Yes,
where can you find that? On
it's
Amazon?
on Amazon. It's on Amazon and it's on my website as well. But yeah, Amazon. But just basically give you tools and pearls of wisdom is of how we go through life, meaning the waves, right? We go up, we go down, but we find our way through each and every wave um, to develop that confidence.
Okay, awesome. All right, Tomeka, thank you so much for being my
Thank
guest
you.
today. I learned a lot from you, and I hope our audience does as well. Please make sure to leave comments down below, engage with the podcast, let us know your thoughts, and please reach out to Tomeka if you need life coaching and go purchase a book, right? Patronize, right? Buy a t shirt, purchase a book, engage with her, make sure you like, share, and follow. And until next time, um, have a great day. And thank you for watching Impactors Out Loud or listening to Impactors Out Loud, depending on where you're reaching us from. Bye bye.
Bye.